The moss-draped oaks of Louisiana have stood silent for centuries, keeping the secrets of the grand estates they surround. But today, at the Stewart plantation, a secret was about to scream. Edward Stewart, a tobacco tycoon with a fortune estimated at over $200 million, had died. He was a bachelor, a man of iron habits and few words. As his body was being prepared for burial, his two nephews, Julian and Victor, were already mentally dividing the silver, the land, and the massive offshore accounts. To them, they were the only blood left. But as the first shovel of earth hit the casket, a black car pulled up. A woman named Clara stepped out, holding the hand of a 10-year-old boy named Leo. She didn't cry. She simply stood at the edge of the grave and said, "He has his father's eyes." The scandal hit the local news before the funeral tea was even served. Julian and Victor wasted no time. Within 48 hours, they filed a lawsuit to bar Clara and the boy from the estate. "Your Honor," their high-priced attorney argued in the New Orleans District Court, "this is a textbook case of emotional extortion. My client's uncle, Edward Stewart, was a private man who never married. He had no children. This woman is a drifter looking for a payday. She has no photos, no marriage certificate, and no place in this family's history." Clara sat at the plaintiff's table, dressed in simple black. She looked out of place among the mahogany and gold of the courtroom. Her lawyer was a legal aid attorney who took the case on a whim. "We don't have a marriage certificate," the lawyer admitted. "What we have is a decade of silence." Edward Stewart loved Clara, but his family's obsession with prestige meant he could never bring her into this world. He supported them in secret, in a small house 2 towns over. Leo is his son, and the law of the bloodline must prevail. The court was skeptical. The nephews produced Edward's personal journals, thousands of pages with no mention of a woman or a child. They brought in friends who claimed Edward only cared about his horses and his business. The judge was ready to dismiss the case until the issue of DNA was raised. But there was a problem. Edward had been cremated according to his strict final instructions Julian and Victor had carried out with suspicious haste just hours after the funeral. With no body and no other living relatives, a DNA match seemed impossible. "You've burned the evidence," Clara's lawyer whispered in the courtroom. But Clara stood up. She reached into her bag and pulled out a worn silver pocket watch. It was an heirloom, passed down through 3 generations of Stewarts. "He gave this to me the night Leo was born," she said, her voice trembling. "He told me to keep it safe until Leo was old enough to understand." Julian laughed out loud. "That watch was stolen from the mansion months ago. It proves nothing." But the judge ordered a forensic examination. The watch was taken to a state lab. Experts carefully disassembled the vintage timepiece. Under the internal gears, near the winding mechanism, they found what they were looking for: microscopic skin cells and dried sweat trapped for years within the crevices of the leather strap and the metal casing. It was a genetic gold mine. 2 weeks later, the courtroom was packed. The lead forensic analyst took the stand. "We compared the DNA from the watch to the DNA of the child, Leo Stewart." The room held its breath. "The probability of paternity is 99.9%. Leo Stewart is, without a doubt, the biological son of Edward Stewart." The silence was broken by Julian's chair slamming against the floor as he tried to storm out. The judge's gavel brought him back. "The Stewart fortune was built on a name, and that name belongs to this boy. I am ordering an immediate freeze on all assets and the transfer of the estate to a trust for Leo Stewart." As Clara and Leo walked out of the courthouse, the cameras flashed, but they didn't stop to talk. They went back to the small house Edward had bought them, leaving behind the greed of the plantation for a future built on the truth. Is a legacy defined by a last name or by the blood that flows through our veins? Can a secret truly stay buried when the truth is ticking inside a silver watch? Let us know what you think in the comments. This is Justice Journals. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking tales of inheritance and hidden bloodlines. The court is adjourned.